I'm enjoying the Schrodinger's problem of like this food might arrive in 20 minutes or never.
I still have to eat my dinner later.
Going from the top.
I'm gonna try a poke bowl for the first time.
Oh yeah. Poke bowls are gonna be alright. Granted, it's like pizza. There's a huge variety of things you could potentially put into it.
Yeah, I don't.
Like
the place
pineapple
I got it from doesn't
and crispy onion and pineapple.
No, the place I got it from doesn't tell me what.
You won't even put pineapple with fish? You just hate pineapple?
No, why the fuck would you use pineapple with fish?
Gestures broadly at several cultures.
Yeah, well, they don't have to be right just because they're a different culture. Pineapple belongs in one place, and that's the trash. And
yep.
There he is, and none the worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. Why are you dressed for the beach?
Who was Amric?
I think it was Andrew?
The Fire Emblem elf.
To prevent further loss of life. An outcome worthy of celebration. Oh wait, was this the guy I was doing with the dumb nose?
Yes, it was the guy with... Wait, no, that was not the guy with the... Was it Amaric? Yes, it was the guy with the dumb nose.
Yeah. And one for which we have Hero to thank.
Yes, you are right, of course. Sir Amric. We should be content with what we have accomplished.
I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. There is a matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drillmont, is the caravan ready?
The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Reverence Toll.
Of that I have no doubt.
I take it these are the self-same supplies the heretics stole from the House for Temp's caravan.
Less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. On an unrelated note, Hero, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? 'Tis not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I'm told.
That's all I ever do.
I just shrug casually.
Yeah.
Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray do not think less of him.
I don't even know him.
Yeah, it's a weird reaction. We risk life and limb for every single thing that happens, basically.
Well, you're not here for Ultima weapon?
I don't value 7 gil more than my time.
Oh, I mean, that works too.
Yeah. Like, it's just 70 gil. Who gives a fuck?
I do.
That's your problem.
It is.
You are mistaken. It's... House Fart. Who was House Fart?
Oh, House
I believe
Fart.
I was reading him, I think.
Go for it.
Give me 1 second here. I don't remember his voice, but we're gonna try it anyways. What were you thinking, Hero? Wagering your very being on a dubious theory which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway. And then engaging the abomination in mortal combat. By the Fury, hero! 'Tis the stuff of the ballads. A battle for the ages. Would that I had been there to fight by your side. Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But you are here now. That is what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Emeric, wish to have words with you and Master Alphino in private. He waits us in the intercessory.
Gross.
How
You have to go to an.
he sounded indignant about the idea that we did Mortal Kombat, but that's what we do every day. That's the whole game, except for the parts where we talk to people.
Like now.
Greetings, sir. I shall show you in at once.
Yes.
Yeesh.
Your inner chambers.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Nautilon.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the Calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emeric, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgardsormr could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am. Now, why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learnt to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's Toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefon, if you would be so kind.
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
Saying that word, but I don't think you know what it means.
Mm-hmm. Where did that tattoo come from?
I love that Emmerich had like the perfect crotch window.
I've got a marking on my neck and I don't know where it came from. Do you have it?
Wait, what? Hold on, stay still.
I think that's from your t-shirt.
Yeah, that might be from your t-shirt.
The shirt puts a marking on your shoulder neck area?
I mean, do you have another shirt you could put on?
That's weird.
Is it though?
I mean, among other things, I have fur, so I have questions of where it is coming from.
I mean, what's underneath your fur? Like, it's just an area where the fur does not grow.
No,
that's definitely where the fur is, though.
Yeah, it's like right on his fur.
That's like a fucking batarang.
Yeah, but again, you can still have areas and patches where fur does not grow. Whether from trauma or from other reasons.
It just doesn't
It's not a scar.
Its just location doesn't make any sense. It just
like a scar,
came out of nowhere. It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Iceheart's method of summoning Shiva defies old precedent. It necessitates a complete reappraisal of the primal threat, and of our approach in combating it. Not going to do genocides anymore? Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Garlean Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to this very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine, then, if it became known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but her civilized peoples as well. Alright, this is starting to sound really racist. Any lingering objectives to the Eorzean campaigns would vanquish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial legend, we could well find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garmod. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, hero. It is better we continue this conversation in Mordona.
Back to the rising stars.
That seems to contradict the explanation that the audience was giving about this whole kind of racist, fucked up genocide plot that this game has.
What?
Well, keep in mind that we know things that the general public, quote unquote, doesn't. Like for how, for example, Phoenix was summoned by us or by people.
Well, I'm just talking about the fact that the audience made a point to say that, like, oh no, it's not that beast tribes don't mean that you have like beast features. So like that's why Hrothgar aren't beast men, because beast men are just defined entirely by the races that summon primals. But they're like, what if we find out that civilized people could summon primals? I'm like, then they'd be beast men. That makes humans beast men then. That's what the category is, according to those people. That just means that they're not civilized. It means that they're beast men, because that's apparently how it's defined. Because apparently it's not defined by being beast-like.
All the more reason then to never let anybody know that the Phoenix was summoned by people.
Either the
Shiva
game
was summoned by people.
Either the game contradicts itself, or every explanation people give is people pretending to know the answer, but they're just making something up, and none of them agree with each other either, that's common enough.
I don't think people would buy. I don't think people would generally want to admit that a game is racist.
It's like when you it's like when you ask people about the Zelda timeline, and they're like, of course, yeah, I know exactly how it works, and then 3 different people give 3 different answers.
And yeah, because the Zelda timeline is not linear in any way, shape,
and they all
or form,
say it certainly.
There's only the 3 timelines. One where Link loses, one where Link wins, and one where Ganon does a floss over the Triforce. And that's the bad timeline. So we have to go back into the...
buried inside this person.
I get to read Minfilia again. Yay.
Your favorite.
Are we talking to Minfilia?
Uh-huh.
Speak with Minfilia at the Rising Stones.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd always just talk to Rue instead.
Everybody here? Oh, it's voiced.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it. Excellent. I shall summon the others at once. Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louisoix's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog XII was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not, but full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think. Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard-Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
So they seem all shocked at the idea of a mortal wielding primal power. So are we still not caught up with the time with when Bahamut happens?
Well,
has that already happened in that storyline?
Yeah, but that was... I feel like that was a different avenue of gaining power.
It still feels silly to be like baffled by a thing that we've already seen happen before and in some way.
Yeah, but with Louisoix, the power was thrust upon him rather than having it be imparted via sacrifice or summoning. He didn't choose to become the Phoenix.
Yeah, but we still know that mortals can be primals then. Bahamut is actually in a time bubble.
I mean, that would explain a lot.
The explanations I'm given do not clarify things.
No.
What the fuck?
I have to preface this every time. This is a game written by the Square Enix, and Square Enix doesn't write good. They just make things look good.
Alright, time for more reading.
Yep. I mean to scour the annals for knowledge of Midgard-Zormr. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few. Do you hear that? The commotion outside. Would you see if aught is amiss? Oh, fuck. Let me guess. More mysterious assassins that appear and kill people?
Funnily enough, we came here to talk to Alphino.
Yeah.
And we got on a little sidetrack. Hero, 'tis well that you are on hand. We have a problem. Roaille has escaped. Roaille? It happened shortly after the immortal flames took her into custody. She had been placed into a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain among the 2 guards. 'Tis plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing Roaille quitting the city via the Gate of Nald. Quitting the city? With a bloodied spear in her hand. She makes for Castrum Meridianum. I am certain of it. What with her fate in Eorzea as good as sealed, what recourse has she but to flee to her imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilberd and the First are hot upon Roaille's heels. Let's say that 5 times fast. Pray make haste to camp Blue Frog and join the hunt.
Just sounds like a nightmare waiting to happen. Trying to say that quickly.
What do we got?
Seriously, Roaille?
Camp Blue Frog.
Camp Blue
Frog.
One or more party members were unable to teleport. Yeah, poor Artemis stuck outside, presumably.
Rizan Roaille with Ilberd. Hello, punk ass.
Wow, what the fuck?
Wasn't he the punk? That we had to like rehabilitate into a guard or something. Wasn't that Ilberd?
No, that was
no,
much thinner guy. This guy's a war hero.
It's so hard to remember these characters.
Ilberd's the guy that's friends with whatever his face is, the onion caretaker.
Roban. Wait, no.
Yeah, Roban.
Onion caretaker? What?
The princess is an onion.
Oh, right. This
is the guy that we took to talk to Roban.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember who he was.
I think it was Andrew, because he...
My thanks for coming, Scion. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Roaille walked through the camp not a bell ago. What is a bell?
An hour?
I guess an hour ago, yeah.
You ring bells every hour, sometimes every half hour, I guess.
It depends on the place, yeah.
I was gonna say you can ring bells whenever the fuck you want to ring bells. There's no like law of physics here.
Yeah, but it's a clock tower bell.
I mean, have you seen a clock tower anywhere around here?
People have grandfather clocks, and the same rule applies.
I mean, yeah.
Have you seen grandfather clocks around here?
Yeah, well, not here, but here in my meat space.
Not in your meat space.
There's one in this house.
Oh God, I hate clock tower, or I hate grandfather clocks.
I know you hate clock tower. That's why I want them to remaster it.
No, fuck. It can stay dead where it belongs.
Some things are better dead.
She walked right through. You did not mishear. We have Ruban's decision to keep the matter secret to thank for that. Bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her, and so here we are. Roaille, how do you pronounce her name? Roaille?
Roaille?
No one knows. We're all trying to figure it out.
I'm assuming it's Roaille just by the spelling of it.
Roaille.
Roaille. Roaille.
Roly-poly must not be allowed to reach Castrum Meridium.
Roly-poly and housefart. Meridianum. Meridanium.
And now we go
Expecto Patronus. Meridanium.
Where are we going?
I didn't turn my sync on.
Up north. We can either teleport or we can walk or fly. Either way, it's going to be about...
There we go.
It's not going to be too long if we decide to fly, honestly.
Wait, where do we have to go? We have to go up
Central Processing Plant, it's north.
Cerulean City. Cool.
Oh.
We're on the road to Cerulean City.
Meet the friends along the way.
It's Viridium City, right? Because isn't that where the Elite Four is?
Yeah, it's where the Elite Four is.
Yeah.
Depends on the game.
Obviously, the other ones take place in different continents.
Yeah, they're in different regions.
Oh boy!
Good old level sync storylines. All right. It was nice playing a multiplayer game with you guys. Goodbye. This is why it's futile to try to assign voices to people, because every time a main story thing happens, it's like, well, now you have to voice them regardless. Haha. This wretch was with Roaille. He threw themselves at us that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own, the gods damned harpy. With me, Scion, we almost have her. Flamesword, go! It's so dramatic. All this because y'all couldn't just maintain a jail correctly. Alright, here we go. Big AoE, boom. There it goes. They're surviving more than I thought they would. I guess we'll use proper combos. It's really hard to combo when everything dies before you can finish your combos. Aline the Razor. Here we go. Come on, Eileen, you've been dragging this out for a long time. I'm not having patience. Durable. Less durable now. Try to AoE because they're all stacking up around here now. You seem to be intentionally not be killable until you defeat everybody else. Big robot, no whammies. Oh god. You, stand closer to each other so I can hit you all. There it goes. There's a lot of reinforcement waves coming in. Was she just invulnerable? Yeah, how long is this fight? I definitely look like I'm just doing this on the way to my vacation trip. Like, you're stalling my plans. You're gonna get extra fury today. With the side of my bullshit. Oh, there we go. Gasp, pant. Bind her and do it tight. Yes, sir. Good work, men. She and her imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see that you've fallen so low. What do you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. I want my grandfather back. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it your God's given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice that we low-born Ishgardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagined me a paragon when I joined the flames. To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Rowbound himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth, with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye. But no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? 'Tis true that we are both mercenaries of lowly birth. And 'tis true that we both had our fair share of struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, it is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Ul'dah to face justice, and the people whose trust you have dragged to the gutter. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yep.
Right.
And back to him.
No.
Not so much of it as a hint of remorse. 'Tis well that this sordid business is finally at an end. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Rowbound chose his.
Damn.
Ouch. Savage.
I don't know if you should be saying that when your grandpa was the one guarding
I've
Bahamut.
heard. Truly bothersome business. No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Roban. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the Blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace. Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
A baby with a mustache is so funny.
Potato stash.
Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Roban, and that shall be the end of it. Your work here is done, my friend. Thanks. My thanks. Ah, but I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Minfilia of all that has happened. I am aware that the antecedent held Roaille in high regard. For better or worse, she will want to know how this tale ends. that mid-sentence burp was canon. It is known.
Back to the Rising Stones again. My turn to pay for teleport.
I misclicked. Yeah. It's so cheap.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
Thank goodness that we have the company actions that reduce teleport fees.
Weird.
Paying for teleports does add up.
Load faster. Okay.
Does it?
Eventually.
I don't know.
And the longer the distance, the more it costs. Up to a maximum of 1,000 per teleport.
They
I got free tickets.
They have distance-based cost?
They do.
That's why the cost changes. So depending on where you are and where you want to go next.
Yeah. Like, for example, Limsa to New Gridania is not very much, but Limsa to, say...
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alfino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say. Together with Robon, Eline lent us much-needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with White Auracide, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to Auracide's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had 2 pieces of white aurosite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
Twould seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the aurosite. And I could do with some help. Eorzea, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Garlean motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
You have completed previous story arc. Get ready for next story arc.
I think Ranger needs to get his shit together.
Just a little bit, huh?
I mean, there's a girl with some really nice thighs going after him, and he keeps trying to avoid her, and that's just not acceptable.
Following the Calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Roaille.
Roaille?
Right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Roaille didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the media project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Roaille played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Bahamut from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet, to all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the Calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Varus Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monetarist scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished! One day I will purge this land of your sickness! Before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Ul'dah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Rauban to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people. Rauban, Forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
I knew I liked Pirate Lady the
so-
most. I was just staring at the goddamn table the whole time, like, oh my god, there's this beautiful strawberry cake in the middle of the fucking table, and no one's eating it. And then right at the end of the cutscene, I realized there's one slice on Pirate Lady's plate because she's the best character. No one else.
Morweblin, I think is, yeah, last right.
That fucking name is garbage.
Yeah.
Right after we just fucking got confused by YU, just as if to spite us, they started a fucking cutscene where they could not have possibly said it more. Like, every line of dialogue said her name again for like 5 minutes straight, just to rub it in.
How on earth do you get Ryu or Ryu or?
It's like
Ryu?
I think it's like Huayu.
Huayu. It's got to be a translation thing.
That's up
It's
there.
gotta be a translation thing.
With some French bullshit where the text on the screen is just misleading at best. Like, it's just not helpful in pronouncing the words. Like, every single syllable has a different arcane rule that's simultaneously replacing its meaning with something else.
Yep. Trying to merge multiple languages into English. That's the problem.
You thought we were done, but actually, here's Mormon Philia. Haha.
I wonder if it's spelled differently in, I assume it would have to be, but if you were to be playing on Japanese or German or French.
You escaped our prison, Hawaii.
They have different names, probably.
Maybe.
Anywho. Talk no Manphilia. I am most eager to address the Ossian threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Yeah, I don't understand why we're bothering dealing with politics and just, smacking primals because they keep showing up.
Lest you forget, Antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Yeah, send the cat with the sword, and then he fights the thing. The hero in particular is ever a steadying hand who I trust will continue to support the Braves.
And by that, you mean do everything for you. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah?
As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice to say, Teleji Adeleji and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Raoban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be best if I were to remain in Ul'dah. Unless you have an objection?
None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Do we?
And we have a phone. Monbrida's research is proceeding as planned.
So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Eorzea is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Hero, while we focus on that task, mayhap you could assist Alphino and his braves with theirs. It would do much to restore faith in the immortal flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so.
Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving wow! Last report. Was that her, but her name shortened for some reason?
That was actually somebody else.
Is that another character that has almost the same name sound? Are you for real, man?
It's a different character. That's all I know.
He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish kept secret, hence why I placed him under the direct command and ordered him to investigate the Uldal riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask.
If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion, by holding my hand up to my ear and talking into it.
But we'll never turn quests in that way. You gotta fly back.
Oh man, go speak with Roaille. It was probably in the Rising Stone.
Roaille's nameplate like has a little end part that just has tape over it, and it like falls off. It's like, it was me, Wowie, all along.
Wagyu.
I already forgot what the person's name was again.
Wyu.
I hate it.
Wii U.
Oh yeah, from Kung Pao. Who was Roaille?
I don't think we've ever actually had anybody voice them.
Yeah, this guy looks way too fucking cool to be forgotten.
Pleasure as always, hero. You'll be escorting the commander to Ulda, I take it.
Isn't this guy in Final Fantasy VIII?
No.
The face tattoos and the blonde hair.
I mean, a lot of people have face tattoos and blonde hair.
Yeah, Keith, don't generalize an entire group of people.
But it's literally Final Fantasy. Actually, I had another task in mind for him. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report for his benefit.
Mine and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons that found their way into refugee hands a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising. A rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by black marketeer hold up near Highbridge.
I doubt that this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer that for this transaction to remain secret.
Brings to mind that merchant we caught narrow while... What caught narrow while talking to the hero, don't it? Generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, savvy? I was a pirate.
Yeah.
What?
Are you Johnny Depp
Former
now?
pirate.
Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, hero? Nothing. I don't say.
Thing I know how to do.
I literally just nodded.
Yep.
Then it's settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Uldal. I expect good tidings. The chat's saying the character's called Zell.
What?
Actually, from Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh.
I don't know any of the characters from Final Fantasy VIII or what its plot is.
And we are going to that.
Isn't that the Gunsword game?
Yeah.
The Gunblade game. It's got the guy with like the fuzzy coat as the protagonist.
Yes.
Camp Dry
You mean Sasuke? Yeah.
Sasuke. What is it? When when the Bouncer first came out, people compared the 3 main characters of that game with party members from Final Fantasy VIII. And they just reused these designs, and they're comparing Volt to Zell, and Sion to Squall, I think, or was it Ko? They might have compared Ko with Squall. I don't know. This all got really distracted away from and forgotten really quickly when Kingdom Hearts came out, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Sion is just reused as Sora." That was too blatant for anyone to remember the Final Fantasy VIII comparisons that we were doing beforehand, but I found like old writing about it.
Wait, how come you're faster than me here? What the hell?
Are you on the ground on accident?
Oh no, my thing's not running for some reason. Okay.
Or were you in walk mode?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
Something like
strangely, walk mode applies to flight. I don't know why.
Or when you want to fly slowly, in style.
Ah, hero. My scouts have been keeping a close eye on the Black Marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard. Common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a man of your standing, and Commander Levalier needn't have dispatched you hither. But powerful men ever have need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, 'tis only natural that he would come to rely on you without hesitation. All right, we have to be alone, beat up people.
I'm glad to see that there are sensible people who realize, hey, we don't really need to send the Warrior of Light to go do this nonsense.
Too bad.
Anyway, let's do that nonsense, because this is at best lamp shading and will not change anything.
Yeah.
Now then, we will make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, hero.
Okay.
What? Where am I? Hello, Noctis motorcycle. Oh, there we go. We had to wait for his animation to play. I was like, where's my crossbars? They're gone. My window into the Final Fantasy universe quenched.
Quenched?
Yeah, like when you quench a flame and it's gone.
It's not called Niche Flame?
Niche a flame? Is that what you said?
Here.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Fuck is
You
niche
went
a
too far
flame?
down. It's up here.
Can't
Niche
see
flame.
anything. Oh, there
You
it
went
is.
too far south. Up north on the hillside.
Go up to the mountains.
I squeezed the flame.
I spy the one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create a distraction, my men and I will slip past and catch the Black Marketeer unawares. Once you've disposed of the thugs, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let us be off. Good luck, my friend.
He slowly runs off into the van. I like that he has to like vanish. Goodbye.
Hi, dude.
Who goes there? An adventurer? Damned fool, he should have never come here.
Oh yeah? I beat Bahamut.
Man, we actually get to fight things. And by fight things, we mean blow them up.
I mean, we beat a Bahamut in some way, which is more than that dude. He should be worried, no matter what the qualifiers are on the Bahamut beating.
What the? God, how many of you are there?
Yeah, too many. And no, I won't finish it in time. Oh.
Yeah, no
Where the
sticker
hell did he
bombing
go?
for you. He's dead. We're done.
No, it said
Yeah.
go talk with the hired hand.
Wait for Ilbert outside the tunnel entrance. This is my waiting meter from the waiting I'm doing.
Oh, a whole lot of nothing out here, huh?
It's somehow raining inside a cave.
I don't understand. What's this all about?
Who was that character? We'll never know. They're dead now. Goodbye,
wow,
that
was
guy.
a good scene.
Aelbert
All right.
got him.
We got him. Oop.
Oh, hey, look, a dead guy.
As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out. But before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result.
Subordinates? There's someone else here?
There's other people here, and there's a hidden blade somewhere on the ground.
Where is everybody?
There's
I just assumed that you're just in on it, and you hired him to do all this in the first place, and then you killed him, and he's like, I don't understand. I thought we were on the same team.
How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard and to bring an inexperienced recruit. Commander Levalier will be most disappointed.
Where's the recruit?
Damn it all! A golden opportunity wasted.
He looks super sus in this cutscene.
Yeah, really.
As for the clients, though we know not how they slipped past our perimeter, at present the first is currently tracking a party of dusk white sellswords we suspect may be them. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the immortal flames for the brass blades. Alas, we're here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons, yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a mass shipment, and this is anything but.
They somehow managed to slip past the line.
Dude is sus as fuck. Don't trust him.